Hello, students. My name is Christopher Nicholson. I'll be your instructor this semester for CITC 1303 Database Concepts, which is this is the spring 2022 semester. This is my 6th full semester at Pellissippi. I did work as an adjunct one semester before that, so really 7 semesters altogether at Pellissippi. I've been teaching computer science at different colleges for over a decade. My academic history is a BA in French with a minor in religious studies from UT and a BS in computer science from UT. And I have a master's of science from NCIA in computer science from Georgia Tech. So I want to talk a little bit about this course. First of all, this will probably be the last time you see my face because I usually do these videos. I do a lot of videos in this course, and I do them without just showing my desktop. So you may see me in the corner there. I'm not sure if it shows it actually. Anyway, regardless, you don't need to see me. I want to tell you a little bit about this course. So here is Brightspace, and you guys you're probably used to Brightspace. My computer screen that I'm looking at is over here, so that's why I'm looking at the side. So this is sort of what it will look like. When you log in, you might have some announcements here later, and I'm going to talk about this later, but I might as well talk about it now since I'm already on this topic. I make announcements whenever there's really something that you need to know in the course. So I recommend reading your email and logging in at least once a day just to check to see if there are any announcements. I might change deadlines. I might make it to where it's later, right? Postpone deadlines for you. I might have to give you some kind of correction that's wrong in the assignment that happens sometime. Things like that. If there's something a lot of people have questions about, I might make a video on it. So make sure you do read look for announcements every day. There might be some. I try not to overdo it so you don't get to where you just don't even care, right? So if I make an announcement, it means I really want you to see it. This course is asynchronous online. And asynchronous means not at the same time, right? Literally. So what that means for you guys, now it's the pandemic. Like we're going into the 3rd year, 2nd year, I don't know, who knows. But anyway, you probably had an asynchronous online course at some point. There's a good chance you have anyway, so you probably know this already. But what it means for you, asynchronous means that we will not meet in any manner whatsoever all together as a class at the same time. So it won't be me teaching a bunch of students neither online nor on campus. So you don't ever have to come to campus for anything. The way I do deliver it is typically weekly or maybe bi-weekly depending on the assignments blocks. Monday's my day. So new material will come out at the beginning of Monday at midnight, and old material will usually be due. This could change a little bit in specific instances, but usually be due at the end of the day on Monday. It gives a day of overlap where you can get some final questions answered if you pushed it off, which you shouldn't do, right? Too long to get those questions answered and get the thing in before the deadline. So Mondays, beginning and the end, beginning for new stuff, end of the day for old stuff. All right, so again, this is CITC 1303 Database Concepts. This is spring 2022. Let's just take a look at some things in the class. So the textbook, there might be some confusion about that, and I just kind of want to clear it up. Probably should put that somewhere here. By the way, this video, the start here checklist, you want to go here first and complete these. Let's just do this first, actually. So watch the welcome video, which is what you should be doing. So I'll probably make an announcement and say, go to start here, and go to start here, and it'll show you the welcome video, right? And then review the syllabus. I'll let you do that on your own, but I'll also go over here in this video briefly. And make sure you have access to the textbook. So this is what I was about to talk about. The textbook is, I'll put the ISBN or picture or something of it here. But if you have Cengage MindTap, that whole semester package or whatever, or 2 semester, whatever it is, you should have access to MindTap for this course. And that MindTap has the textbook in it as an ebook. All I'm asking for all I'm requiring for this particular offering of the course is that you have access to the textbook. You do not have to have access to MindTap. If you do, that's fine. If MindTap's how you read the textbook, that's fine. But you are not required to do any activities in MindTap aside from reading the textbook. That's your only way to do it. There's been some confusion about that in the class where students have gone and done all the activities in MindTap, even though I have separate assignments for you to do that are in Brightspace. So if it's not indicated by a checklist in Brightspace, you're not responsible for it. So I do encourage you. MindTap activities for this book are actually pretty decent. I just prefer using my own material for this particular subject, but it's good practice. So you can do it if you want, but you're not required to do MindTap. But you do need the textbook. It's a great textbook. It's been around for decades, and it's kind of a standard textbook, and it's presented really well. I like this particular textbook. So start here. Watch this video you're watching that I need to put a link to once I finished it. Go over the syllabus. Let's do that briefly right now. So in a way, the welcome video is kind of a twofer, right, for the start here. So we actually lost our master syllabi, but thankfully we had them printed out. So we were able to OCR them back in and divide them up. So you'll notice maybe this one does it have a split in it. For some reason, after a couple pages, some of these have a blank page, but this one seems to be okay. Anyway, so this is the syllabus. You'll notice that here's the textbook, by the way, optional printed text plus MindTap. It sort of implies here that it's required MindTap. In some other courses, the professors lean more heavily on the MindTap, and I don't. So it's really kind of optional to have the MindTap, but you do need to have, Stephen Morris, Database Systems Design, Implementation, and Management, 13th edition. That's all you need. If you have that text, either in digital or hard copy form, that's all you need for this course as far as textbooks go. All right, and you need to do note that you have to have Windows to be supported. Access is hard to use in other operating systems. The whole Office 365 that you get as a student, it's kind of hard to get to work in other operating systems. So if all you have is a Mac, do be aware the syllabus requires that you have a Windows computer. In the past, students have been able to check them out if they didn't have them for the semester, I think. That's not something I have control over, but you can look into. I think the ERC has information about that, but I can't support getting it installed on Access. I mean on Mac or Linux or Chrome, of course, but whatever. If you've got a computer made in the last 10 years, you're probably fine too. So just make sure you look over those requirements there. And you do need Office 365. That's something you can, as a student, you're able to get for free. So there used to be a whole guide to it on the help desk webpage for Pellissippi, but that's gone. I think I put a link in. We'll check here in a second. There's a link in the course about where you can go and get it. And if you have trouble with that, ask me, or actually preferably ask help desk, because they would know more about how to get that stuff for you. But you do need access to Microsoft Access at the beginning of the semester. All right, and the only other stuff I would talk about is just if you ever know what the weights are in the class, it's a 50% testing. So the exams, there's a midterm and a final. That's 50% of your grade. 40% are all the labs. So there's going to be, I think there's 5 Access and 4 SQL labs, so 9 total. That's 40% of your grade. And then 10% other stuff, like the introduction post I'm going to have you do. And there's a discretionary participation. So as long as you kind of turn your work in, you'll get full credit on that. If you have any questions about the syllabus, though, you can ask me later in the email. All right, going back to content, I did want to point out course resources. I might not put the supplemental syllabus in here. I have to decide what I want in it. Just a second. Okay, I knew it was in here somewhere. It's in the Start Here checklist, the link to installing Office. So you need to have your student account, and there's a way you can log in, and it will give you access to install Office, in particular Access. Access is not normally, it doesn't normally come with Office if I remember correctly, so you need your student account in order to get that. I'll put this link also, I'll duplicate it in the course resources, so we should make a note about that. So I'll do it later so you can see it in a couple of different places. All right, so where are we at? Oh, so first week, what I want you to do is install Microsoft Access, post in the general discussion. Well, it's the introduction post. You'll see when you click on this, though, it'll give you a sample post. Here's mine, pretending like, you know, I'm a new student in the class. This is what I want you to do. You can just copy and paste this and change the answers if you want. And it'll be, you just click on it, introductions, and create a new post. Start a new, actually, I'll show you how to do it. I should have done this anyway. So this is what you would do. Ideally, the easiest thing to do is copy and paste that. So what you do is you go to the introductions, start a new thread, and where it says the post body here, paste in the answers so I don't have to change them, right? Because I am me. And then put your name as the subject, so each person can do that. And so I want you to do that, and it's not required, I don't think. You know, you're not required to respond to anybody. I usually try to respond to everybody just to make that initial contact and welcome you to the class. But your other students are free to talk to people if they see something interesting in the introduction post. So this is the way I will also check to see if you've shown up for the semester, right? After like 3 or 4 days, and this is like the quickest deadline we have. Normally you have a week to do your work, but in 3 or 4 days from today, when you see this video, they won't be asking me who didn't show up. So I will go by the introduction post. So do this first. This is your first priority after you watch this video and look at the start here. And I should probably put it on top of the checklist, right? But your first priority is to make sure you get credit for showing up for the semester. Keep in mind that to get credit for attending for the semester, or for all your courses all semester long, you have to do something substantive. I think, double check me on this, I might not be exactly right, but I think it's every 14 days. If you disappear from the face of the earth to us for 14 days or more, or over 14 days, you could be dropped from the course. And I have to report like, hey, this person hasn't done anything in 14 days. So it has implications with financial aid and all kinds of stuff that I don't really understand, but it's important for you to know, stay on top of that. So substantive means like you get a grade for it, or it's an activity that you actually accomplish. Logging in by itself is not enough. You can't just log in, and I can't just look at the log on Brightspace and say, oh, they logged in. That doesn't count. It has to be, take a quiz, make an introduction post like this one, or some kind of discussion post. Turn in an assignment, any assignment, lab, take a quiz. It has to be something like that. You have to be doing something for participation in the actual course. So keep that in mind. I think that might cover just about everything. I wanted to make sure I really hit on that 14-day thing. So don't go 14 days without doing anything. Even if you have a 2-week assignment, maybe just make sure you're within that 14. If it's a day or two more than 14, I'm not going to check it. But yeah, make sure you stay on top of the 14-day thing. So let's see, announcements. I think I already talked about that. I'll just reinforce that notion though. Make sure you do check in like once a day ideally, because you want the up-to-date information if something changes on an assignment or something. My office hours to be determined, probably mostly Zoom, but there might be some on campus this semester, and I'll announce that when it's been decided. First couple weeks is when that happens. So other than that, just some general things. I make a lot of videos. I've got videos for each lab where I work through them. I probably need to redo some of them because some of them were made in the first of the pandemic before I had a good microphone. So ideally, if I have the time, I can make some new ones. And I'm also, some of them are kind of less professional even than this one in their delivery. So some students like the character of that though, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think none of them are out of date yet. I will say this too, though. I will say this: If anything is different about what the I say in the video from what the assignment says you need to do, go by the assignment. If it's unclear, send me an email and ask me a question about it. There's a couple things where I changed where I'm like, oh, don't worry about doing that, or make sure you do this or whatever. Just look in the actual assignment right up, and if it's in that, that's what you need to do. Even if it like goes against what my old video says. And again, if you need any clarification, send me an email. And I think I had this here. Here's the widget later on. This is where my office hours will be, by the way. So a lot of people don't really, like, I don't know how to schedule office hours. Well, it shouldn't be too hard because always on the sidebar, but once I've determined them, this TBD is to be determined, you'll have them right here. And you'll have I don't really use the phone on campus much. I'm not going to give you my cell phone. So when I am there, you can always call me there. You can leave messages, they get to me eventually. But the best way to contact me is CJ Nicholson at pstcc.edu, my email address for the school. And please send me any email from your student account. So, because there's some federal policies I can't really violate. If I know it's your email address as a student, I can be confident that I'm not sharing anything I shouldn't share with somebody who isn't you, right? So do use your student email account at Pellissippi to contact me on my instructor email account at Pellissippi. Please don't use this Brightspace messaging. For a while during the whole incident that happened recently, it was actually the best way to contact people, but that was it's kind of hard to manage. It's not intuitive, and I'll miss. If you want to make sure I see your messages as quickly as possible, send me an email. I do check my mail probably 2 or 3 times a day. Give me like 24 hours at least to answer you in case something goes wrong. But normally you won't have to wait that long to get a response from me. It can be anywhere from like 40 seconds to 12 hours or something. But usually you get an answer back pretty quick. But do figure in that time for turnaround and give me at least 24. On the weekend too, some weekends I might not be able to answer until Monday, depending on what's going on. Okay, so does that cover everything? Again, I make a bunch of videos. When I don't do it for every assignment, but quite often I'll give you audio feedback because it's a little easier. I do have rubrics as well. If the rubrics cover all the material, and in particular, if you do really well on the assignment, sometimes I might not give audio feedback because you did everything great and there's nothing to like really try to explain to you. So, but don't be surprised if you get audio feedback. I think it's a more personal way and sometimes an easier way to give feedback on assignments. So there's little video recordings in your feedback in Brightspace, not video, audio recordings. You can do video too, but I won't inflict that on you. Anything else? Let's see. I think that's everything. So if you do have any questions about stuff that's covered in this video, if there's something I still didn't explain to you, again, send me an email at cjnicholson@pstcc.edu, and I'll try to respond right away. Thank you.